Dana Bash did a great thing today. I mean, it was in a subtle manner, but it needed to be done. It is assigning blame and responsibility where it needs to be, including to those Republicans that like to have a sort of sense of stature while they don't discourage all the crap that goes on the backside. Check this out, and then we'll go ahead and take it on the other side, because what she did here, I think, was more important than initially one would think.
What you just heard there are people in the CPAC audience celebrating the U.S. falling short of its vaccination goals. And they're doing that in part because of misinformation coming from the right. So do your fellow Republicans need to stop questioning the vaccine and start pushing it instead?
The vaccines are a miracle. I mean, it's amazing. And by the way, it's President Trump's administration that started this effort with Operation Warp Speed, and it is something we should all celebrate. The vaccines are safe. The vaccines are effective. As you know, Dana, I was in one of the trials, and I'm still in the trial, the Janssen J&J trial. So I got my vaccine early to show my constituents that I trusted the vaccines, that they were safe and effective. And the numbers are overwhelming. If you have been vaccinated, you have a level of protection that is, again, extraordinary. It really is amazing how well it's working. And I plaudits to the Trump administration and to the scientists and researchers that worked overtime to prepare these vaccines. This is a pandemic of the unvaccinated by definition. Surgeon General Murphy just talked about that the vast majority, 99% or more of those who unfortunately are dying now from this terrible pandemic are people who are not vaccinated. So I do encourage people to get vaccinated. I don't think it ought to be something where we're going door to door and mandating it on people. I think what we should be doing is a much more effective and massive public media campaign talking about the facts, giving people the scientific facts on this. And if so, I think we will be able to get that number up. By the way, about 60% of the adults in my state and nationwide have been vaccinated. So we're on track to
those are good numbers, and
to get to 70%, I hope.
We have to end it here, but I think the public media campaign is a great idea. The problem is the right-wing media putting out disinformation. So hopefully you can talk to them about maybe stopping some of that as well.
Notice how subtle she was. Yeah, all of that you're saying is good. All of that you're saying is true. But you, a person, a Republican, need to go out there and talk to the people who, quote unquote, trust you, and make the right-wing media stop the cancer that it's spreading within its domain. I want to just clarify one other thing. While under warp speed, these vaccines were developed, let's be clear here. Donald Trump had very little to do with the development of the vaccine numero uno and numero dos. Remember that the RNA vaccines and all these other technologies were funded and developed before the Trump administration. These were technologies waiting for a reason to put into action, and that's why they were so fast in getting them together. Donald Trump had very little to do with it. In fact, if Donald Trump had done things correctly, we would not have lost over 600,000 people. The right is directly responsible for the deaths of 600,000 Americans because, one, we didn't follow protocol, and two, we did not really push the type of vaccines. We had allowed the right to dominate in misinforming people, and guys like Portman that purport to be responsible, that purport to be serious, they as well didn't do their job. And Dana Bash is telling him, I hope you will go out there and talk to the right wing and make sure that they do what is right. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.